the regular season draws to a close, Texas and Missouri fight for the top spot in the Big 12. The Tigers have leaned on ace Chelsea Thomas. The Longhorns' leadership in the circle starts with Blair Luna. Another pitcher's duel is imminent between two teams whose sights are set on a return to Oklahoma City. Only on ESPN. The Big 12 title is on the line at University Field. Yesterday, number 4 Texas beat number 8 Missouri 2-0 in front of a new record fan turnout. Today, the rematch. As we take a look at our latest Big 12 standings, they reveal that if Texas wins this game today, they will defend their regular season title. However, Missouri controls its own destiny. Win each of their next 4 games, and the Tigers will take at least a share of the regular season championship. With that, we welcome you to University Field with Olympic gold medalist Jess Mendoza. I'm Kara Capuano. This was anticipated to be a pitcher's duel, Jess, and certainly it did not let down yesterday as Blair Luna got the best of Chelsea Thomas. How did she do that for Texas?
Well, Blair Luna struggled this last week. She had 2 losses. I was very curious to see how she would do against Missouri. She ended up shutting them out, her 15th of the season, which leads the country. How did she do it? A very deceptive drop ball.
The Longhorns actually leapfrogged the Tigers in terms of team ERA. Texas now the nation's leader in team ERA. But Luna got some help. Chelsea Thomas only gave up 4 hits, but 2 were solo home runs, and that was all the support that Blair needed.
Well, what I like about Texas's offense is the fact that they have 7 of their 9 starters hitting over .315. If one player is struggling, they have 5 or 6 that can step up and get the job done. There are only few teams in this country that can actually do that, and Texas is one of them.
Chelsea Thomas only gave up 4 hits in that game. Her catcher, Megan Christopher, said, hey, if she gives up 4 hits, we've got to get her a win. What will Thomas do today to baffle those big bats?
Well, Chelsea Thomas, what makes her so good is the fact that she has so many pitches. She has movement, she has speed, all led by this nasty drop ball that she can throw in the low 70s, and this thing just drops off the table. What offsets this? Her changeup. This is a knee buckler. A lot of hitters cannot see it and cannot catch up to it. This is a very good pitch for Chelsea Thomas.
In Saturday's game, over 2,400 fans turned out to set a new attendance record at University Field. Today, even more are ready to watch. They're calling it a blackout. Chelsea Thomas leads the nation in ERA. Blair Luna leads the nation in shutouts. An old-fashioned pitcher's duel ahead on a Mother's Day in Missouri.
We are Texas. It's not just a
Tigers are set to host the number 4 Texas Longhorns. Texas led by Connie Clark, the only varsity coach that this program has ever known. In her 15th season, she's gotten Texas to the Women's College World Series 4 times. That stellar lineup that Jessica mentioned. Look at the batting averages. Taylor Hoagland and Courtney Craig, the 2 hitters that supported Blair Luna with solo home runs in the game yesterday. Chelsea Thomas, Jess, you mentioned she's got the drop. She's got the changeup, but those aren't the only pitches in her arsenal.
And you'll see her offset that drop with a very deceptive rise ball as well, and you'll see her even go left to right with a curve and screw, but it is that drop ball and the changeup that really is effective against hitters.
First pitch to Taylor Hoagland. Called a strike. Taylor Hoagland, all Big 12 second teamer last year with the home run yesterday, 14 on the season to set a new Texas single season record. Hoagland also has a school record now with 51 runs scored on the season. The spark plug in the leadoff spot. Whips one past the third baseman, Nicole Hudson, for the single to open the game. The defense that lines up behind Chelsea Thomas. Seniority is the key for Missouri. Rhea Taylor, the All-American center fielder, as a senior second offensive player in superstars.
Defensively is the found defense on off C, especially a loss yesterday. They're the ones that are going to lead this team.
First pitch is a ball. Freshman Bridget Washington out of San Bernardino, California. Washington gets under that one. Is it out of play? Princess Krebs tried to get back to it. Tricky with the fence in the way.
And Princess Krebs, you can tell she's aware there's the wall there, but this is where home field advantage. She should know more than anyone else on this field exactly where that wall is. Feel for it. Feel for the warning track on her feet. That's a catchable ball. Now, if it was Texas out there, I'd say, you know what, there's a lot they're working with. I mean, the fact that that comes into play, but this is her home field, and I believe, hands down, I'm a left fielder. There's no ball that drops.
2-1 the count now on Washington. Washington lays down the button so fast, can she? She does leg it out. Did Catley pull her foot off of the bag there, Jess? It's hard to tell. Rose Vach, actually.
By seeing that live, honestly, it looked like Berger was definitely out at first. And no pulled foot by Vach, so this is a good break. Oh.
Perhaps a tie goes to the runner situation?
Good call. I thought she was out looking at that live, but seeing the replay, she definitely looks like she got in there. And this is a typical sacrifice situation. It was a hard bunt. That shows how fast Bridget Washington is. I mean, most of the time, you got to lay down a perfect bunt, runner on first base. Nicole Hudson was right in her face. She got rid of that ball quick, but Bridget Washington's so fast.
That brings up Taylor Thom, also bunting. Plenty of time there, but both runners advance. So runners on second and third now for Amy Hooks, one of the senior captains of this squad. Longtime catcher for this Texas program. 34 RBI, second on the team with Hoagland. First pitch strike. Missed that one to Jenna Marston, the shortstop. Goes for the lead runner at third. Run will score, but Washington tagged out. Nice defensive selection by Marston.
This is a smart play by Marston. She's coming over to the 5-6 hole. She's not going to get the lead runner, so instead she goes after Washington at third. The ball was leading her to third base. That was her only play.
So with 2 outs, but 1 run on the board, Nadia Taylor, also a captain for Texas, steps into the box. With the speed of Washington, it was a gutsy play as well. Any other player, that would have been an easy play to make, but Marston really had to get a quick release there.
And normally, Kara, I would say, you know what, don't go after Washington in that situation, but because the ball was so softly hit and also leading her to third, for her to have to replant and try to throw out hooks at first, that would have been a much harder play.
Gotcha. 1-2 the count now to Taylor. Taylor back at the middle, fielded cleanly by Thomas, and that will end the inning. But a little damage has already been done by the number 4 Texas Longhorns, who take a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the first.
Could switch into Geico really save you 15%.
Minwax makes and keeps wood beautiful, easily.
Whoa! I got a winner! I got it!
At 89 cents, everyone's a winner. The new cheesy double-decker taco. A crunchy taco and nacho cheese sauce all wrapped up. So it's like getting twice the taco. Only at Taco Bell. Why pay more?
College softball is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Welcome back to University Field. Now, the rule for the fans today was a blackout, but black and gold, of course, the colors here at Mizzou. And frankly, it's a little hot for black, so good choice by those in gold. Aaron Earlywine in his 5th year with the Tigers, back-to-back Women's College World Series appearances for Missouri. And that has led to this, the recruitment of star athletes top to bottom for this program. Ashley Fleming has been their offensive leader, Jess, in the lineup at the 4 spot.
Well, and it helps that you see who's around her. Nicole Hudson, Kat Lee. There's all these hitters, Rhea Taylor to lead it off. I mean, there's so many hitters in and around this lineup, but the fact that Ashley Fleming has been a leader and a force is by far why her numbers are so high.
Blair Luna in her sophomore season after being the Big 12 freshman and Big 12 pitcher of the year in her debut 1 year ago. Rhea Taylor, the All-American, will be the first batter for Missouri. One and one the count now to Taylor. All Big 12 first teamer, all 3 of her years with the program to date. 2-time All-American. Offensive juggernaut, all on her own.
And Rhea Taylor is that kind of hitter that has the ability to hit the ball out of the park in the gap or bunt and slap.
How tough is it, Jess, to be that versatile?
I think the biggest thing you see is when right-handed, as Rhea was, she was a right-handed hitter in high school, didn't switch over until college, is you see them just bunt and slap. So to be able to hit is the hard part.
Count is full now to Taylor.
See everything. See everything.
Taylor gets it down on the dirt and then outruns it. She will head to second, stand up to get there.
This is why speed can be so good. Rhea Taylor getting this ball dribbled to Reagan Fight. All she could do was go down to her knees and try to get rid of this ball as fast as she can. What happens? She throws the ball away. This is why Rhea Taylor and any slapper or hitter with speed is able to put that kind of pressure on the defense.
That brings up the shortstop, Jenna Marston. Perfect bunt. Almost legs it out. Tell what call the fans wanted there.
Look like they got her just half a step. I'll tell you what, it looks almost similar to Berger Washington, and I think that's why Missouri fans are on their feet yelling at that call, because it was pretty much the same timing as Berger's base hit for Texas in the top of the inning.
Nicole Hudson now facing a 1-0 pitch. Fouls that one back at us. Shy into the stands.
He's going for it.
Hudson, the only Tiger in Saturday's game, Jessica, to even touch Blair Luna. She had both of Missouri's hits. Single up the middle to score Taylor, and we are tied at ones.
Hudson takes this inside pitch, actually over the middle of the plate, and she drives this ball up the middle. She takes a very short swing to this ball, and that's how you hit Blair Luna. If you try to take a big swing, you're not going to be able to make contact the way that Nicole Hudson just did.
First pitch is a ball to Ashley Fleming, the leader for Missouri in every offensive category: average, RBI, home runs, runs scored. We spoke with Fleming yesterday evening after the game, Jess, and she was already rethinking some of the at-bats, how she could do a better job today.
Well, one of her goals for today was to lay off the drop ball. She was looking for the drop, wanting to hit Blair's drop yesterday, and it was a ball every time, so she's going to try to be more patient today.
With that one foul down the right field line. Fleming, the junior, one of the Missouri natives for Coach Earlywine out of Silex, Missouri. Jess actually met Ashley back in the day.
This is in 2004, right before the Olympics. She brought that picture out last night, and I was like, oh no.
Fleming with a hard shot to the second baseman, fight, but she got spun around on the grass. 2 on for the Tigers.
Fleming just gets enough of this to get it into the hole, but Reagan Fight, what an effort. I thought this ball was already going to be in right field. She probably saves Nicole Hudson from going all the way to third base by just making that dive, but she's frustrated because she wanted Ashley Fleming. She didn't want to just make the dive and catch. She wanted to throw out the runner.
Catherine Lee fouls back the first pitch.
And Kara, talking to Texas, Reagan Fight is their defensive quarterback. She is someone that is out there talking constantly. Just watching her now, she's turning around, communicating with every one of her defensive players. And when you make a play like that, it takes away from the hit, because all you're thinking is, wow, that was a great effort. You're not thinking, oh, that was a base hit.
3 seniors on this Texas squad. Fight is one, and they're all leaders in their own right. 1-2 the count now to Catherine Lee. Strikeout for the second out of the inning.
We talked about Chelsea Thomas's nasty drop in the beginning of the game, but Blair Luna can match it and then some. I mean, this thing breaks, Kara, I'd say about 6 inches from where it originally starts, and that's just mean.
Princess Krebs fouls back the first offering.
Because I think for viewers at home, they see where that pitch ends up in the dirt, but that starts in the bottom of the strike zone. That is a tough pitch for any hitter. There it is again, that drop ball. I mean, if you watching this can see where it's at when it crosses the plate, and then where it is when Amy Hooks, the catcher, catches it. That's a significant difference.
I believe Blair told us last night, Jess, she caught you on a drop at one point. A drop curve. Blair Luna played for Team USA's Futures team last year. 2-2 the count now to Krebs.
And what I think makes Blair so effective is the fact that she doesn't just have that drop. You see her drop and you think, well, why doesn't she throw that every pitch? Then she comes back with a rise like she just did. And that's why she's so good. Ending with the changeup.
Strikes out the last 2 hitters to strand 2 base runners, but not until Rhea Taylor had scored. We're tied at 1 after 1.
What the heck is that?
Those are the Mike's Hard Lemonade, guys.
Mike's Hard Lemonade?
Yep. Mike's is a nice change of pace. Can't keep drinking the same old beer all the time.
Yeah, doing the same thing over and over. That's just crazy.
For a refreshing change of taste, make it a Mike's.
How many more laps?
Couple hundred.
Cool.
maintain maximum horsepower 60% longer than Castrol Syntec in our extreme tests. Castrol Edge. Now, with titanium fluid strength technology, it's more than just oil, it's liquid engineering.
This is the Kyocera Echo from Sprint, the first dual touchscreen smartphone. Two's better than one. Ask Double Dream Hands Man, who just released his latest tour de force, Double Dream Feet. With 2 screens, watch it and email it. Text it and tweet it. Let's make this masterpiece just as famous, twice as fast. And together, we can give one-hit wonders a second life. The Echo smartphone, only from Sprint.
We are tied at 1s in the top of the 2nd inning at University Field. These two teams both have 1 goal, and it is to be in the field of 8 in Oklahoma City. Women's College World Series starts June 2nd, and for Texas, Connie Clark told us they've been thinking 6-8-11, which is the final day of the Women's College World Series since the season began. For Missouri, it would be a 3rd straight trip back to the promised land. 2nd in the nation in team ERA, just dropping under Texas after the pitcher's duel between these two yesterday. We'll see which one, Chelsea Thomas or Blair Luna, helps propel her team to the top team ERA in the nation after this game. Oklahoma City, a legitimate goal for both these programs, Jess.
Well, and I think, you know, for Coach Connie Clark, you know, it's rare to hear a lot of coaches talk about the end of the season, you know, in the middle of the season, but she said that's why she wanted to do it. They've always gone just game to game, and she feels for Texas it is about the World Series. It's about the end of the season, and that is how they are going to be successful game to game.
Courtney Craig waited on a changeup yesterday. At least that's how Missouri saw it. She hit a shot into left field, her 7th home run of the season.
And I think for Texas, what I'm impressed with their hitters is the fact that they do have a game plan. They have been very aggressive with Chelsea Thomas, at least in the 1st inning, early on, knowing that she's going to come right after him. And for Courtney Craig to hit Thomas's changeup, something that we talked about being so effective against hitters, there's something that Courtney is seeing, I believe, out of Thomas's hand.
Craig plays back on that one. Jenna Marston fields it cleanly. 6-3, first out of the inning. ESPN News coverage of college softball will continue later this afternoon. An SEC showdown for the East Division title. Number 3 Tennessee at number 6 Florida. 3 o'clock Eastern time. Beth Mowens, Michelle Smith, and former Alabama star Charlotte Morgan on the call for that one. First pitch is a ball to Tori Schmidt. Thomas scattered 4 hits yesterday. Schmidt, one of the Longhorns, to nab one. Two and 1 the count now. The sophomore Schmidt also had a stolen base yesterday, along with Bridget Washington, to bring Texas's team total to 109 this season, a new record. Schmidt with the sharp shot to Marston, pulls Lee off of the bag. The call is that she's safe, and it looks like she's hurt, Jess.
For Missouri right now, trying to argue if she ever did get to first base. We'll see on the replay, just a great play by Marston, the throw high, which brought Kat Lee to trip up Tori Schmidt, and the question is if Schmidt ever did get to the bag.
Ooh, it looks like she got kicked in the belly there by Lee.
So Kat Lee gets her leg, trips her up, and because of that, Schmidt never gets to first base.
incidental contact, obviously, as Lee was just trying to range up and make the play. The umpiring crew of Tom Topping, Larry White, and Bob Sells discussing what they saw. As Schmidt tries to run it off down there on the third base line. And it looks like she is going to head and run the bases.
She definitely does not get to first base, and that is a tough play for the first base umpire, but for Bob Sells behind home plate, that's the best angle to be able to tell whether she gets to first base or not. And immediately, the first base umpire asks for help on that. All umpires calling her safe, but none, I'm thinking they were distracted by the collision, not focused on where the feet were touching the bag or not.
And obviously, the game is on television, but they can't use replay technology as fans at University Field are shrieking for that.
I'm going to go run down and tell them what happened.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. They're going by their instincts and what they saw, and it was a very quick collision in live time.
And Connie Clark looking for actually obstruction from Kat Lee, and that was her sign by holding out her fist like that. She's asking not only Tori Schmidt to stay at first base, but to go to second.
It's nice to see a smile on Tori Schmidt's face, because when she went down, she was agonized for a few minutes. We mentioned Texas's team speed earlier, 109 steals, but it's not all Brogé Washington. Schmidt 12 of 13, including a stolen base yesterday. Taylor Hoagland, the second best base stealer on the Longhorn squad. It's a passionate argument from Coach Clark, Jess.
Well, I think she's looking out for her player. I mean, you said this, Kara, you know, Kat Lee did not mean to trip up Tori Schmidt, but the throw brought her right into Schmidt, right into her thigh.
And really thankful Lee wasn't hurt, because she came down hard on her wrists.
But because Kat Lee was going after the play, and they're now calling Tori Schmidt out.
So apparently some of that conversation was that she didn't hit the bag.
And this is a tough call by the umpires. I mean, Carrie, you said this is happening full speed, but also, you know, knowing that it was the defender that caused her to miss first base.
So with 2 outs, Kim Bruin steps into the batter's box. The count now to the sophomore out of Redlands, California. Make that 2-1. Schmidt and Bruins back-to-back in the lineup, both from California, but Coach Clark telling us over the years one of the joys has been seeing the participation in Texas among high school students triple in her 15 years. That allows her to recruit from home as well as nationally. Full count now to Bruins. Bruins 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts against Thomas yesterday. Bruins to the third baseman, Hudson. Fielded cleanly. 3 up, 3 down, though in untraditional fashion. Tied at 1 to the bottom of the second.
Here's the deal. You hate blowing money, but you want a ton of food. Taco Bell's $5 box. A cheesy double-decker taco, burrito supreme, taco supreme, cinnamon twist, and medium soda. All for just $5.
Welcome back. The Big 12 with a trio of amazing pitchers. Blair Luna for Texas, Kaylani Ricketts of Oklahoma, and Chelsea Thomas of Missouri. You can also add Melissa Dumazic of Texas A&M and Whitney Canyon of Baylor. Really 5 amazing pitchers in this conference, and all 3 of these players candidates for Pitcher of the Year, Player of the Year. Ricketts pacing the nation in strikeouts, Thomas pacing the nation in earned run average, and Luna with 15 shutouts on the season. Jess, can you pick a best of these 3?
You know, that's so hard. I was just going to say, because they're all 3 so different. Blair Luna throws not as much speed, but more movement. Kaylani Ricketts from the left side really gives hitters a different look. And then, of course, Chelsea Thomas with her devastating pitches, not only her faster stuff, but her slower stuff. So really just depends on who they're facing.
That is our Facebook question. Who is the Big 12 Pitcher of the Year? Log on to Facebook.com. Become a fan of ESPNU and weigh in. First pitch is a strike to Madison Rugberg to lead off the second. Rugberg, the freshman. We mentioned all of the upperclassmen making contributions for Missouri. She's one of the few young players really getting it done in her first season.
In fact, you know, getting it done, Coach Earlywine talked about how she was unconscious, quote-unquote unconscious, the first few weeks of the season, and how impressed he was as a freshman to see her not be intimidated at all.
Rugberg in the left field. Finds the green in front of Tori Schmidt. Yesterday he told us that as of late she'd been feeling for it, looked a little tense in the box, but not on this at-bat.
Well, and honestly, this isn't a well-hit ball, but this is what you do against Blair Luna. With a pitcher that has a lot of movement, you shorten up your swing, you just try to put the ball in play, and that's what Rugberg does so well in that at-bat.
Schmidt, Bridget Washington in center, Taylor Hoagland in right field. 3 of the strongest outfielders in the nation, and the fielding percentage for Texas, #2 in the country coming into the week. Strong defense behind Luna. Megan Christopher squares off the bunt. Rugberg was pretty far off at first. She's lucky she's got back. Pinch runner is Brianna Corwin. So a freshman for a freshman in the running substitution. Rugberg gets the hit. Corwin out of Kansas City, Missouri, the primary pinch running option for these Tigers, as Christopher's trying to bunt her over. Two and one the count to Christopher. Nice bunt. Did what she had to do, Jess.
And this is why Megan Christopher is in this lineup. I mean, she's known for her catching ability, but right now sacrificing herself to help the team, getting the bunt down, that's all you can ask for.
Similar to your comments earlier about Reagan Fight, the defensive quarterback for Texas. That is Abby Vaughn for Missouri. To go with her great infield presence defensively, she's having a great senior season offensively. Pops that one up. It is playable. Nadia Taylor under it for the second out of the inning. Bach, a career 208 hitter, over 300 coming into this series, but pops out on that one.
And that's a big out for Texas right there. Blair Luna pitching her perfectly. That ball was put into play. If anything, it would have moved the runner. I mean, anything hit to the right side, but the fact that she got under that pitch, and it leaves Corwin, the base runner, stranded at second.
Two 2-0 to Rhea Taylor as we are back to the top of the lineup for the Tigers. Taylor with a sharp single in her first at bat and then reached second on an error on the throw.
The game plan for Missouri today versus yesterday is to be patient and wait, and you can tell Rhea Taylor taking 3 straight pitches before she got that last strike.
Taylor flares one up, also playable for hooks. So a couple of foul balls caught for the last 2 innings, outs of the inning.
Hal Jordan, the ring chose you.
Each year, the quest begins. The NBA championship and the ring that goes with it. But what special powers will be needed to capture the ring? Superhuman strength? Courage? Intense focus? The quest for the ring has begun. The NBA Conference semifinals on ESPN and ABC. And with the Green Lantern in the...
Our energy bills are so low, it's incredible.
Brunner Peters Heating and Air Conditioning can save you real money, too.
Geothermal water furnace uses the temperature of the ground to heat and cool your house.
You don't have to worry about carbon monoxide.
It's good for the environment and it's good for our pocketbook.
It runs clean and it's very safe.
It saves us a ton of money.
Water furnace is smarter from the ground up.
You could save up to 70% on your utility bills. Find out how at Brunner Peters Heating and Air Conditioning in Columbia.
How's the car working for you?
I love it.
She said she loves it.
Oh, thank you.
She says thanks for giving her such a good deal.
Huh? Is she saying more good stuff about us?
No, she just said you're too heavy to be leaning on her arm like that.
Hurry over to Vandiver for our best selection of new vehicles yet. University Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Big discounts from us. More money for you.
Welcome back to University Field. Heading into the top of the 3rd inning, Texas and Missouri tied at 1s. And a special happy Mother's Day to all the moms watching out there, including our own Jessica Mendoza. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you. Shout out to my son Caleb at home. He's a year and a half, and I'm glad to be here doing softball, but I miss him too.
6 hits already in this game today, Jess. 6 hits total between these two teams yesterday. Why have the Tigers and Longhorns hitters have a little bit more success today?
Well, I think just game plan. The fact that they saw both of these pitchers yesterday so fresh. I mean, within 24 hours, being able to come back and face the same pitcher, you're able to make those adjustments. That's why these two teams are top 10 in the country.
The roles reversed in this one. Tigers with 2 hits on Saturday. It's the Longhorns with 2 hits in this game, and the Tigers with 4 hits. But what matters? Runs on the board, and we are knotted at 1 apiece. Reagan Fight will lead off the 3rd inning for the Longhorns. First pitch strike. Two now to Fight, who perhaps thought about bunting her way on. The senior out of Bosqueville, Texas, a transfer from McLennan College, Community College in Waco. Strikes her out. Fans, we are gearing up for the postseason. Women's softball, the selection show, Sunday, May 15th on ESPNU. We will set the field of 64. Then 2 regionals live, the entire regional, all 8 super regionals, and every pitch of the Women's College World Series starting June 2nd. Can't believe it's here already, as the first pitch is a strike to Taylor Hoagland. It's been such a quick season.
It has. I mean, I think it's because, too, you're always waiting for the end of the year. Who are the 8 teams that are going to make it? And starting in January, you never know. What I like we saw with Reagan Fight before, thinking about a drag bunt. Now Taylor Hoagland from the right side. A lot of times you see left-handed hitters thinking about a drag bunt. This is what I like about Texas softball is no hitter in this lineup can't think about laying down a drag bunt to get on base.
1-2, the count now to Hoagland as she fouls back that pitch. You mentioned the phrase, "This is Texas softball," and that was Connie Clark's message to us last night. She said that against Oklahoma, maybe even against Texas A&M in the midweek game, they were overthinking the matchup and the game plan. For this series, they just wanted to get back to being themselves. Two and two, the count now to Hoagland. Reaches for that one and hits it back up the middle, similar to the home run that she hit yesterday. Wasn't the most perfect traditional swing, but effective nonetheless.
This is why Hoagland is such a good hitter. She gets fooled on this changeup. Watch her weight move forward, but she keeps her hands back. That is an all-hands base hit. She doesn't use her lower body at all. Her lower body's what got fooled, but keeping her hands back, that was the key in hitting that changeup. Watching again, Hoagland swing. Look at her lower body. Watch her weight transfer forward, but she keeps her hands enough in the zone to where she has enough power and strength to just use her upper body to get that hit.
So that's all upper body strength on that play then, right, Jess?
Exactly, and that's a lot of times when you talk about how to hit the changeup, it's just that.
The appeal to the first base ump, she did go, so 0-2 the count now to Bridget Washington. Washington 35 of 42 and steals this season to pace the Big 12 Conference. Not bad for a freshman. Washington also leads the Big 12 with 5 triples on the season, speaking to her speed. Struck out Washington, and the throw off the mark as Hoagland advances to second. So runner on second for Taylor Thom, but 2 outs in the inning now. Taylor Thom moved into the 3 spot in Texas's lineup when their offensive superstar, Lexi Bennett, got hit by a pitch against Iowa State. She has missed 11 games. Thom fouls off the first one.
And Lexi Bennett was clearly the best hitter for this Texas offense, and the biggest thing for Texas was that they didn't look for Thom to just replace her solely, but rather the whole lineup step it up a notch to replace a hitter like Lexi Bennett. Takes the pressure off of someone like Taylor.
That said, she's handled the pressure admirably. Her average has really increased in that 3 spot. Taylor Thom actually leading the Big 12 with a .429 batting average. You can see Lexi Bennett's right forearm is quite padded up. As of yesterday, she has been cleared to run, so we might see her as a pinch runner in this game.
When I was at Texas last week for the Oklahoma-Texas game, and I watched them hit, Lexi Bennett was actually swinging a bat with just her one hand. So using her left hand, she's still getting her swings in, getting her running in. I mean, when she comes back, she'll be ready to go.
Thom takes the 1-2 pitch into right field and gone. 11th home run of the season for Taylor Thom, a 2-run shot. That ball just kept carrying, Jess.
It did, and the wind is blowing out a little bit to right field, but with a pitcher like Thomas who brings so much velocity, Thom just does a perfect job of keeping her hands above this ball. All she had to do was get to contact. The rest is over the fence. Just a good piece of hitting, especially for an outside pitch. She didn't try to pull it. She didn't try to do anything but just get to contact.
So the first pitch high to Amy Hooks as Texas takes a 3-1 advantage at Missouri. Hooks gets under that one. Bach is calling for it. 3rd out of the inning, but more damage has been done as the Longhorns have snuck ahead. 2-run home run by Taylor Thom gives Texas the 3-1 lead.
Whoa! I got a winner! I got it! At 89 cents, everyone's a winner. The new cheesy double-decker taco. A crunchy taco and nacho cheese sauce all wrapped up. So it's like getting twice the taco. Only at Taco Bell. Why pay more?
I plan for everything, but not a 612 credit score. It makes creditors think I'm unreliable. And it turns out our little bun in the oven is 2 buns. So we need a bigger place and a bigger loan. That's why I'm taking control at creditreport.com, getting the information I need to understand my score and how it works. At creditreport.com, I'm not a number. I'm Lisa. Or Mom.
Offer applies with enrollment in creditreport.com.
A little to the left.
That's amazing.
You know what else is amazing? How easy it is to save money on RV, camper, and trailer insurance with Geico. Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
Experience new Trident Vitality.
I just came to say hello.
Trident Vitality with inspired ingredients.
Lead in the top of the 3rd, 3-1 on a 2-run home run by Taylor Thom. That will bring Blair Luna back into the circle to try to protect for the Longhorns her senior catcher Amy Hooks on the advice she gave the sophomore heading into the weekend.
With Luna, I was just telling her to quit thinking. Turn the brain off. We have a game plan. Let's stick to the game plan. And you're best when you're not thinking out there and you're not stressed out. And she wasn't. She went right with the game plan, and she saw it work. So hopefully we go back with that today.
Connie Clark has a line, Jess. She says you can't coach or teach experience. And now that Blair Luna has had a year as Texas's ace, how has that soldiered her for this year's run through the Big 12?
Well, I think her biggest lesson was probably last year when they faced Georgia after clinching the Big 12 championship. They lose 2 to Georgia. They end up going on to postseason, losing to BYU in regionals. And I think Blair Luna learned that she has all the physical ability in the world. It's about mentally handling losses and coming back and getting the win. And I think a lot of eyes were on her when they faced Missouri this weekend after 2 losses this last week.
First pitch to Jenna Marston is a strike. 0-2, Marston quickly in a hole. A sophomore out of St. Louis, also a star baseball player. Marston, one of the most patient hitters in Missouri's lineup, tied for 5th in the Big 12 with 32 walks on the season.
And what I like about Jenna Marston, and Coach Earlywine of Missouri will say this, is she keeps her hands inside the ball and is able to take any pitch opposite field better than anyone he's coached. A lot of hitters like to pull the ball, but Jenna Marston does a really good job keeping her hands close to her body, keeping the barrel back, and then just throwing it to be able to hit the ball gap to gap.
Full count now to Marston. And what patience for the sophomore after the 0-2 hole. Waited out the next 4 pitches, all 4 balls.
And that's just a sign of a good eye. When you're 0-2, I know when I'm 0-2, I start swinging at anything close because you're thinking, okay, I got to protect. But Jenna Marston, cool, calm, and collect, even with 2 strikes.
First pitch is a strike to Nicole Hudson. In her first at-bat, an RBI single to score Rhea Taylor and put the Tigers on the board. Coach Earlywine talking a lot to us, Jess, about her body language recently. She's been red hot, probably the best hitter from Missouri. What do you see when you see her step into the batter's box? Ooh, I see a thundering shot to center to tie the game. Well, that's that relaxed, just swing and go for it mentality that Earlywine says Hudson has.
And Coach Earlywine calls Nicole Hudson the hottest hitter in this lineup. She's just playing right now. We talk about turning it off, not using your brain, and just reacting. Well, right now, Hudson takes a drop ball that's up in the zone and just drives this to center field. She knows it's out even before she hits first base. It almost looks like she's smiling as the pitch is coming. She knows what to do with this ball.
Nicole Hudson's first collegiate hit was for a home run, and that could be her biggest home run this season to date, her 11th on the year to lead the team.
And right now, she just has Blair Luna's number. I mean, she got the only 2 hits yesterday versus Texas. Today, she's already got 2 in all their RBIs.
The hit parade continues. Ashley Fleming into center. Yeah, Nicole Hudson, 4 of 5 for the weekend against Luna.
On Blair Luna keeping this pitch up in the zone. And for Ashley Fleming, that is her area that she likes to hit. She likes balls that are up in the zone. She doesn't like the drop ball. That was part of her mission today for Fleming, was to not look for the drop ball, look for something up. And for Luna, she just leaves that a little bit too meaty.
And she said she wanted to be a little bit more thoughtful early in the at-bats. If she saw something that she thought she could go for, swing on it. That was well exhibited there. Fans, tonight, ESPNU will reveal the brackets for the 2011 NCAA Division I Men's Lacrosse Championship. After the brackets are announced, our experts are going to break down the regions and predict who may host the championship trophy. Duke, the defending national champion in lacrosse. The selection show, ESPNU tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern. Conversation in the circle between Coach Clark and the battery. What do you think she discussed there, Jess?
Well, I think just sticking with their game plan. I mean, right now you see, a walk to lead off the inning, then a home run, then a base hit. You don't want the wheels to start to come off. And I'm sure she's just telling Blair, look, this is our game plan. Let's stick with it.
Lee drops down the bunt, fielded by Nadia Taylor to advance Fleming to second. Just the first out of the inning. Ashley Fleming on second for Princess Krebs. First pitch is a strike. Luna had talked about just thinking about the next pitch, shaking off what has happened earlier in an inning. We'll see if she can do that. How hard is that for a pitcher to do, Jess?
Well, I mean, I think for any player, I mean, whether it's an infielder that makes an error, a pitcher that gives a home run, a hitter that strikes out, you have to be able to have forward thinking. That's so much easier said than done, because all you want to do is dwell on that mistake.
Hooks throws it down the line to Bruins for the second out of the inning. And Madison Rugbird singled in her first at bat in the second. Brianna Corwin pinch ran for her, but of course she can come back in and hit. If she's subbed out again, she's out for the game. Rugbird gets under that one for the third out of the inning. But again, damage done early in an inning. Nicole Hudson with her team-leading 11th home run of the season to tie it up. We're going to talk to Missouri head coach Aaron Earlywine about this battle.
Here's the deal. You hate blowing money, but you want a ton of food.
And we're going to talk offense in a moment, Coach, but Chelsea Thomas, how would you compare her outing today to yesterday?
She's doing okay. She's not pitching her best softball, and I think she'd be the first to tell you that. But, you know, some of that you have to credit to Texas hitters. It just doesn't matter what we throw them. They seem to be putting the ball in play, and certainly that's the name of the game in fast-pitch softball.
Well, Coach, I have a twofold question. First, I mean, you're able to respond every time Texas scored. First in the first and then in the third, but then Nicole Hudson, does she have Blair Luna's number? I mean, she's 4 for 4 against her the last 2 days.
Well, yeah, she's seeing the ball really well off Blair, but really just generally Nicole's seeing the ball really well. So I don't know how much of it is Luna and how much of it's just Nicole swinging the bat well.
All right, Coach, thanks so much for joining us.
All right, thank you.
Nothing wrong with having a hot hitter heading into the postseason stretch. Nicole Hudson right now looks like she could single-handedly carry this team, but that's what's so great about both these programs. We mentioned all of Texas's batting averages, but Missouri top to bottom has a lot of equal distribution as well on the offense.
Exactly, and not a lot of, you know, big, huge names. And, you know, I think that makes a difference, too, when you're a pitcher and you know that every single hitter can hit you. You know, that it isn't just one or two, that you're facing this All-American and then you get to the rest of the lineup, you don't have to worry about it.
First pitch was high to Nadia Taylor. Taylor pops that one up, out of play for Lee. With 4-time Stanford All-American Jess Mendoza, I'm Kara Capuano, taking in a game for the Big 12 title at University Field. Number 4 Texas at number 8 Missouri. If the Longhorns win, they defend their title. But Missouri still controls its own destiny. Win out, and they'll at least share the title for the season. 1-2 the count now to the junior captain Nadia Taylor. She started almost every game in her career at third base.
I think when Coach Earlywine was talking about Chelsea Thomas not having her best stuff right now, I don't think it's so much the velocity or her changeup. I think both of those look good. I think it's the movement. And a lot of times for Chelsea Thomas, she can throw the ball not only hard, but it breaks so well. And we're not seeing that same movement we normally see from her.
Any idea why the movement's being affected, Jess?
No, I think just like any player, I mean, some days you have it, some days you don't. And I think for Thomas, you know, she's just got to pitch her game, and she can't get caught up in, you know, what pitches are moving and which ones aren't.
Strikes out Taylor to open the inning.
And this is where Thomas is so good, is she just throws this ball by Nadia Taylor. We talk about maybe her movement not being what it normally is, but she still has that velocity, and not a lot of pitchers can go to either one.
Courtney Craig swings at the first pitch she sees. Nice play by Hudson for the second out of the inning. Chelsea Thomas, just a redshirt sophomore in status after getting injured last season, took a medical redshirt. But look at the numbers already moving up the career charts. 8th in victories, 3rd in winning percentage, 5th in strikeouts, and earlier this week, Jessica, set the single-season K record. She still has 2 years left at this craft.
Well, and as much as, you know, the injury is something she did not want last year, she said it got her to be in the best shape of her life this year. It gave her that much more motivation to get back and be the best pitcher she can be.
0-2 the count now to Tori Schmidt in her first at bat in the second inning. Quite a collision at first base with Kat Lee, who was leaping up for a ball. They realized Schmidt never hit the bag and she was called out. There was a lot of discussion about the call on that play. Chelsea Thomas has thrown a couple of perfect games solo this season, has shared a perfect game. 7 career no-hitters in just 2 seasons. Earlier this week, Thomas was added to a list of 9 players joining the group, trying out for Team USA in June at the selection camp. That one rolls foul from Schmidt. She's also a top 25 finalist for National Collegiate Player of the Year. And again, just as she wasn't initially invited to Olympic tryout camp, she wasn't on the top 50 watch list, but she made the top 25 list. She's just been stunning. Strikes out Schmidt to end the inning. Looking forward to a conversation with Texas coach Connie Clark. Coach Connie Clark. Coach, a very different game as far as pitcher's duel versus an offensive game today. What are you seeing from Blair Luna that's different from yesterday when she shut down the Tigers?
The only thing that we talked about during the timeout last time was don't stray from, you know, count management, work the corners, trust your stuff, and count management. You know, we had an opportunity. I think, you know, it's not the home run that hurt us, it was a walk. And, you know, that's what we talked about. And really, I think the only difference in that regard, you know, same thing with Thomas and with Luna, it's the second day for great hitters to see pitchers. So we've just got to keep the count management and stay with the game plan. We'll be fine.
Well, and Coach, you talked about coming into this weekend, Texas not overthinking, just being reactive. What about playing Texas softball is going to get you guys the win for today?
Just to stay pitch to pitch and keep battling, keep seeing good pitches that we want to hit and playing chess. You know, I mean, they're over there trying to figure out what changes they're going to make, and you know, it's a great matchup. And you know, we're doing the same thing over in this dugout. So we just got to keep fighting it. It's no different than I anticipated today. I thought it would be a little bit different than yesterday, and that's what we're seeing.
Coach, thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, y'all.
As she mentioned, it's playing out differently, but with so much on the line, you can just feel the intensity, both teams. It's 3-3 on the scoreboard, Jess, but it might as well be 0-0 when you're talking about these two pitchers in the circle.
Well, that and the fact that, you know, Missouri has responded every time Texas has scored, and a lot of times you see a team shut down, especially after home runs. Usually that'll quiet a team, shift the momentum, but for Missouri, Texas scored in the top of the first, 1 run. Missouri, 1 run to match. Top of third, 2-run homer. Missouri says, we can do that. 2-run homer in the bottom of the third. So I think that is something that we're seeing, is that both these teams want this. No one's going to let up.
2-1 the count now to Megan Christopher to lead off the bottom of the 4th for Missouri. Luna evens the count, 2-2. Aaron Earlywine telling us yesterday, Megan Christopher is hands down the best defensive catcher he has ever coached. Great footwork, quick release, a masterful job framing the pitches, which is impressive, because he says a lot of catchers can't even catch Chelsea Thomas in batting practice. She has so much movement and deception.
And they also talked about how he wants to see some of that quickness, some of that foot movement and placement that she uses on defense. He wants to see that cross over into offense, and she's slowly getting there, but that's his goal for her offensively.
Waits on the full count pitch, and it's a walk to Christopher. Heady at bat there, Jess. Well, fans, the NBA playoffs continue on ABC this afternoon. Win or go home for Kobe Bryant and the defending champs on the verge of being swept by the Mavericks. Lakers and Mavs, Game 4, Western Conference semifinals, 3:30 Eastern Time on ABC. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern with the Buick Regal NBA Countdown. Is this Phil Jackson's last game coaching? It is definitely possible if the Lakers lose. We have a pinch runner in for Christopher at first. That's the freshman Taylor Duplessis.
This is exactly what Connie Clark talked about when we interviewed her between innings, was the fact that it's that leadoff walk. It's not the home run, but giving up the walks is what leads to the runs. And this is something that Blair Luna and Coach Clark are trying to work on in game.
1-1 the count now to Abby Vaughn. Duplessis keeps straying off of first, getting looked back by Hooks. Definitely a threat to steal the speedster out of Pearland, Texas. Locke lays down the bunt perfectly. Little discussion about who was going to field it. Taylor comes up with it to advance the runner to second. Back to the top of the lineup now for the Missouri Tigers. Rhea Taylor singled in her first at bat, popped out in her second at bat. 356 average, which for her would be considered a down year. And Fight makes the play as Duplessis gets to second or third. That brings up Jenna Marston. She walked to lead off the third inning. She was brought home by Nicole Hudson, and softball's actually not her sport of choice. A USA Baseball Women's National Team member, shortstop on that team, and named the Sportswoman of the Year for USA Baseball for her contributions last summer.
And I'm so impressed with the fact that Marston's able to cross over, play baseball in the summers, come back to softball, and be so successful. And I think it's a huge testament to how similar hitting is baseball to softball. It's not different probably in any aspect, only maybe the short game, but the swing is pretty much exactly the same.
2-1 the count now to Marston. In the Baseball World Cup in Venezuela, she hit .593 in the tournament for Team USA. 16 hits, 8 were doubles. It's remarkable. The dimensions of the ball, the dimensions of the field, the speed of the pitch, so much is different. How does she adjust?
Well, and like I was saying, I feel like the swing doesn't change. It's just a matter of, you know, pitch. You're going to see a lot different pitches. You're going to see, like you're talking about, different base paths, what you do strategy-wise, but her swing doesn't change. And I think that's why she was so successful, even more successful in baseball than softball. Although I'm not going to lie, I don't think there's a lot of baseball players that could switch over to softball and do what she did.
Amen to that, sister. Count is full now to Marston. But you saw some players down in Florida a couple weekends ago try to take cuts on Danielle Laurie, some top Gators male athletes. How'd they do?
Oh, everyone struck out.
As expected, clutch hit there by Jenna Marston. The RBI single into left, and exactly what you were speaking to earlier, Jess, about getting it to the opposite field.
And this is what I like, Jenna Marston, is she keeps her hands inside this outside pitch, just a beautiful swing, and she doesn't try to do a whole lot with the outside pitch, but just go with it. It's when you try to pull that pitch, that's when you get out.
That brings up the hot hand, Nicole Hudson, and understandably, Luna's first pitch to Hudson, far away from the strike zone. Hudson 4 for 5 against Blair Luna in the past 2 games. Let's see what she did in her last at bat here, Jess. Bottom 3.
Well, just like Coach Earlywine said, she is seeing the ball so well, not just off of Luna, but off of everyone. The last 3 weeks hitting well over 350. She's somebody that's just feeling so good. He says she doesn't even think. She just goes up there and reacts, and that's when you know a hitter's feeling good. When the brain has turned off, the ball basically looks like a beach ball. And it doesn't matter where they pitch her. She's able to hit it.
Nicole Hudson, the sophomore out of Webb City, Missouri, Webb City High School, led the Tigers in home runs her freshman year. First true freshman to hit double-digit home runs in a season for Missouri since Jen Bruck did it in 2005. Has made an immediate impact with this program. And the fans want to see her just fly right through the postseason as well.
Well, something I'm noticing with Missouri hitters are all in the very back of the box. You can see Hudson's left foot back there.
She's just killing it right now, Jess. And that will score Marston as it runs to the wall.
This is the best feeling in the world when you know no matter where they pitch you, you have the ability to find grass. And that's exactly what Nicole Hudson does with this outside pitch. Just so confident right now. Could not have placed that any better. And kudos to Jenna Marston on first base, able to score on that.
The definition of the perfect hit into the gap, hard hit all the way to the wall. Another RBI for Nicole Hudson. She has really learned Blair Luna's number. Fleming lifts the 0-1 count over to the second baseman. Fight had to range back to make the play for the third out, but Nicole Hudson does it again. 5 of 6 on the weekend against Blair Luna. 5-3 Tigers. Every game of the SEC tournament coming up this week on the ESPN networks. Looking forward to that. But before we get there, seeding still to be decided. Today it's number 3 Tennessee at number 6 Florida. ESPNU 3 o'clock Eastern. Later tonight, the SWAC Championship. You've got the Big East Championship coming up next weekend on ESPN2. A ton of softball to get you ready for the NCAA postseason. And this is the kind of game to get you ready for when it gets really tense. Big 12 title on the line. Missouri is not going to let Texas come into their house and win the Big 12 title outright. Of course the Tigers were going to give it their all. 5-3 lead taken in the bottom of the 4th. A couple of great plays and strong at-bats from Jenna Marston and Nicole Hudson. Can Texas provide the equalizer now? They've been mano-a-mano all day. Shelby Savoni, the pinch hitter, swings at that first offering from Thomas. Oh, 0-2 now. The senior out of Kilgore, Texas, falls into the hole. Savoni, one of the 3 tri-captains with fellow senior Amy Hooks and third baseman Nadia Taylor. Does not chase that one. Primarily a pinch hitter the last couple of years. Last year, 18 hits, 11 were home runs for Texas. Savoni, along with Lexi Bennett, the first baseman, both on the All Big 12 academic first team last year. Leaders in the classroom and on the field. Bat on her shoulder, Jess. ESPN's coverage of Major League Baseball continues the next 2 nights. First, Sunday night baseball, 8 o'clock Eastern. Braves, Phillies. Then on Monday, 7 Eastern. It's the Twins taking on the Red Sox. That game can also be seen on ESPN. Minnesota and Boston markets. Major League Baseball on ESPN Sunday and Monday night. Another pinch hitter now, Karina Scott, batting for Reagan Fight.
We talk so much about Thomas and her off speed. This changeup is just so wicked because of how fast she throws her other pitches. And there's a reason why Shelby Savoni, who is a very clutch pinch hitter, does not swing at that pitch. And those are the ones as a hitter, you see the catcher catch it and you're just praying, please umpire, just don't call it. Just this once, miss a call, because there's no way I had any chance of hitting that.
And Karina Scott quickly in an 0-2 hole. Scott goes down swinging.
And after the change up to Zavoni, she comes back with this drop ball that we saw Luna's drop ball drop off the table. I'll tell you what, we talk about Thomas having an off day. There are a lot of pitchers in this country that would love to have the off day that Chelsea Thomas is having right now.
First pitch is a strike to Taylor Hoagland. 6 Ks in the game for Chelsea Thomas. Had 7 yesterday against this same Longhorns lineup. Chelsea Thomas pitching with renewed vigor in these later innings, Jess. She struck out 4 of the last 5 hitters for Texas. A little run support, and it seems like her confidence skyrockets.
Well, and similar also to Nicole Hudson in Missouri, we talk about how she's a hot hitter right now, feeling good. Taylor Hoagland on the flip end of that is exactly just like Hudson. I mean, Taylor in the box right now looking so confident. She's already got 2 hits against Thomas today.
Three and 1 now, a hitter's count to Hoagland. 2 for 2 in this game, 1 for 3 yesterday against Thomas, with her 14th home run of the season to set a new team single-season record.
And this is why Hoagland, right now, I'm so impressed with how well she's seeing the ball. There's that changeup that we saw full Savoni, and for Hoagland, she's able to at least foul it off. Now, she doesn't hit it for a base hit, but the fact that she can foul that pitch off, that prevents a strikeout.
Fouls that one down the left field line. University Field very close to the Missouri University golf course. And as I look out to the green across in right field, somebody has put down his bag and walked over to see what all the fuss is about over here across the street today. He is now trying to watch the game.
He's like, this is a good game.
You don't want to miss that. He actually walked across the street, talked to the fans to find out what the score was, and now he's back up on the green for a better vantage point. They love softball in Missouri. Back-to-back Women's College World Series appearances will definitely ramp up the fan fever. Full count to Hoagland. She'll take her base.
And this was the problem that they said Thomas had yesterday with her changeup, is leaving it too high in the zone. That's the only bad thing a changeup can do when it is that slow, is if it's high, a batter has a lot better chance of being able to put that ball in play. But for Hoagland, smartly laying off of it, she'd rather take the walk. Big at bat for Taylor Hoagland.
One and one the count now to Bridget Washington. She singled in her first at-bat, struck out in the third inning. Top of the lineup has been the key productivity for these Longhorns hitters in this game. The top 3 hitters have all 4 hits on the board. Washington, the speedster, had the wheels back at Cajon High School in San Bernardino, California. 137 career steals in high school, over 34 a year, and she's bringing that same speed to the college level. And Hoagland is caught up, trying to run her down. You cannot strand in a pitcher's duel. Eventually, it's Jenna Marston that makes the tag to help Chelsea Thomas get out of the inning. 5-3, Tiger advantage.
Casey Mears drives the number 13 Geico Toyota Camry. Naturally, he saves with Geico. He also drives a motorcycle. He drives an RV and an ATV. Geico insures motorcycles, ATVs, and RVs. We insure almost everything Casey drives. Almost. Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
What the heck is that?
Those are the Mike's Hard Lemonade, guys.
Mike's Hard Lemonade?
Yep. Mike's is a nice change of pace. Can't keep drinking the same old beer all the time.
Yeah, doing the same thing over and over. That's just crazy.
For a refreshing change of taste, make it a Mike's.
How many more laps?
Couple hundred.
Cool.
Now we're hitting the road with the Pro Glide Challenge. Yo, my friend, come on down here. What do you think about that Pro Glide?
Yeah, this is great. This thing is fantastic. Feels good on my sensitive skin. I don't feel like I'm shaving.
Fusion Pro Glide is engineered with Gillette's thinnest blades ever.
It feels like it's doing the work for me.
So it glides for less tug and pull.
It was smooth.
This was fantastic.
I'm having way too much fun with this razor.
Turn shaving into gliding with Fusion Pro Glide.
I'm a believer.
Yeah! Gillette Fusion Pro Glide.
Missouri with a 5-3 lead over visiting Texas heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. And Taylor Hoagland, who was caught to end that last inning, stranded between first and second, understandably upset with herself. Squad down 2 runs. She's fired up. Gamer. Coming this August, fans, the Longhorn Network is going to cover UT sports like never before. 24/7 HD network dedicated to all things Texas. 200+ live events, exclusive events covering Texas football, men's and women's hoops. You want more softball? They've got it. All 20 UT sports. Behind-the-scenes coverage, in-depth studio analysis. Longhorn Network will have unprecedented daily all-access coverage of Texas football, including live practices, Mac Brown's Coaches Show, a Texas version of College Game Day. For more information and to request the Longhorn Network, go to getlonghornnetwork.com. 5-3, Missouri with the advantage heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. Taking the lead in the 4th, Nicole Hudson with an RBI double to follow up an RBI single from Jenna Marston. Aaron Earlywine, a coach of many quotes, and what I love that he told us about Nicole Hudson, Jess, quote, her whole countenance has changed. She's where you want to live. First pitch to the pinch hitter, Lisa Simmons, is a ball. A 1-1 the count now to Simmons. One thing I think's amazing about Missouri, they always say Coach Earlywine puts players in position, makes the lineup to win a game. They've played 49 games. But not a single player has played 49 games. 3 players have played in 48 games. Not a single player on the Tigers roster has been in every game this season. He really mixes up the playing time among the personnel. It's not easy to manage a big roster.
Well, and I think he knows with back-to-back World Series appearances that when it gets down to that, the end of the season, towards the big games, it's about the full team. It's about the bench. It's about those on the field collectively wanting to win. And that's why, you know, talking to Chelsea Thomas yesterday, she said this is the best team chemistry-wise, talent-wise, all of it put together that she has ever played on. And I think it's because Coach Earlywine makes sure that everyone is included and everyone knows their role.
Full count now to the senior Lisa Simmons out of Boonville, Missouri. Simmons into right field, lifts it shallow, but Taylor Hoagland gets to it for the first out of the inning. With Olympic gold medalist Jess Mendoza, I'm Kara Capuano. We're at University Field in Columbia, Missouri. The number 8 Tigers hosting the number 4 Longhorns in a Big 12 conference showdown to help decide which team will win the regular season championship. First pitch is a ball to Princess Krebs. Should Texas come back, take the lead and win this game today, the Longhorns will defend their regular season title. 1-1 the count now. But these Tigers still control their own destiny despite losing yesterday at home to Texas. They went out and they will at least share the title. The Big 12 Conference so strong this year. 7 teams ranked this week in the top 25, and it's really been that way all season long. Texas A&M, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Baylor, also Nebraska. But Texas and Missouri, the cream of this tough conference. As Princess Krebs strikes out.
Blair Luna, this is that drop we've talked about all game long, just drops off the table, but it's the late break on that pitch that is so crucial for her. If that starts to break any earlier, Missouri's not going to want to swing it at, but the fact is it looks like it's coming in nice and fat, and then boom, out of the zone.
Longhorns have only 1 game left next Sunday at home against Baylor. Meantime, Missouri is going to make up a rained-out game at Oklahoma State in the midweek, and then they finish at home against Iowa State. Another pinch hitter now from Madison Rugberg. They're bringing up Marla Schweisberger, one of my favorite walk-up songs in all of the Big 12, Cheeseburgers in Paradise. Schweisberger, Cheeseburger. They're crafty. Two 2-0 the count now to Schweisberger. Second team All-American and first team All Big 12 as a sophomore. Hit .390 that season.
Well, and Carrie, going back to what you were saying earlier in the inning of Coach Earlywine, bringing in different hitters, different players in different positions, switching things around, the reason why he's bringing in Schweisberger in this situation, she's a really good drop ball hitter. With Blair's drop and the effectiveness, that's why she's in this game.
A high towering shot into left field. Tori Schmidt is under it. 3 up, 3 down for Blair Luna. Time for the Longhorns offense to respond in the top of the 6th.
Niagara Falls, the ultimate torture test for a deck, the ultimate protection.
Top of the 6th at University Field. Missouri with a 5-3 lead over Texas. How to make your Mother's Day even happier. Just switch channels and keep watching college softball. ESPN News coverage of college softball this afternoon continues with an SEC showdown. Tennessee at Florida for the East Division title. 3 o'clock Eastern, that one starts. Friday, Florida won on a walk-off home run from their freshman, Cheyenne Coyle. Yesterday, Florida won on a first inning 2-run shot from their sensational senior, Kelsey Bruder. What will we see in now? I look forward to that. Meantime, Jess, Blair Luna versus Chelsea Thomas. 2 aces, but the numbers today don't reflect what we saw in the first game between these teams.
Well, and the biggest reason is the Texas and Missouri offensively. I mean, these pitchers, no doubt, are some of the top pitchers in the country. They'll be trying out for the national team here in a few weeks. But on the flip side of that, the reason Texas and Missouri are ranked top 10 in the country is because they make adjustments. So no matter who you're facing, Thomas, Luna, anyone else, if you face them 2 days in a row, you better make sure that you're able to make adjustments, and both these teams have today.
Ashley Fleming has moved to first base in a defensive substitution. That puts Simmons in right field. First pitch is a ball to Bridget Washington. She was at bat in the top of the 5th inning when Taylor Hoagland got caught in the rundown, stranded between first and second. Washington, not only a superstar in softball in high school, also a 3-time track most valuable player for Cajon High School. To the third baseman, Hudson, and she can't run this one out. Nice stretch by Abby Vaught. She's always got a chance, Jess.
Bridget Washington, I mean, again, doesn't even lay down the best bunt, but the fact that she makes this play close and make, like you said, Abby Vaught have to stretch to make this play. I mean, Bridget Washington always a threat, and making Missouri really have to show their best defense.
What a great series to prime both of these teams for what's ahead in the NCAA postseason. Being challenged defensively. The hitters being challenged by 2 of the best pitchers in the country. And in turn, Chelsea Thomas and Blair Luna have to try to shine against these stacked lineups. First pitch, a strike to Taylor Thom. Rips one over to the third base line. Marston actually keeps the ball in the infield, but that will be a single for Taylor Thom.
And Jenna Marston showing her range, getting to this ball while still on her feet, replanting, trying to make a throw. The throw ends up going wide left, but Marston has a ton of range. You'll see a lot of shortstops usually have to dive for that ball. Taylor Thom was any slower, she would have been able to have more of a play.
First pitch is a ball to the catcher, Amy Hooks. Hooks unique, one of the few college catchers that calls the game. You don't see that very much anymore.
You don't, and I think it shows a lot that, first of all, Coach Connie Clark is a pitcher. So the head coach at Texas understands that relationship between the pitcher and catcher. And she recruits catchers that are smart enough to know the game, study the game. And that's what I like watching Amy Hooks, Megan Willis, a lot of the catchers that have come through Texas that are not only smart catchers, but then it transcends into their hitting too.
3-1 the count now on Hooks. 12 home runs this season, 35 in her career. Amy Hooks is your career record holder in home runs for the Longhorns. What a mistake again on the base pads for Texas. She must have thought this was a walk.
Double play for Missouri, and a very interesting what happens at second. For Taylor Thom, I think it was almost like a delayed steal.
Two outs in the inning. Hooks has walked. Thom thought that it was a walk, so she started to basically lead her way to second and ended up getting caught between the base pads. That will bring up Nadia Taylor with 2 outs and Hooks on first. When it's a 3-1 count, Jess, you really have to wait until you know what the signal is there, because Thom just, I think maybe she assumed she was heading to second.
I didn't see her initial lead, but I mean, the fact that she was diving into second makes you think that she was thinking she was stealing.
Number 51, Lexi Bennett, pinch running for Texas.
Lexi Bennett pinch running now for Hooks at first. You can see she's got the giant club on her right arm. First action since April 17th when she got hurt in the game against Iowa State. One and 0 the count to Taylor. Hard hit to the third baseman. Hudson elects to go for the lead runner. Throws out Bennett at second to end the inning as Missouri maintains command and Texas continues to baffle itself on the pads.
Whoa! I got a winner! I got it!
At 89 cents, everyone's a winner. The new cheesy double-decker taco. A crunchy taco and nacho cheese sauce all wrapped up. So it's like getting twice the taco. Only at Taco Bell. Why pay more?
If you've been to the hospital with heart-related chest pain or a heart attack, known as ACS, you may not want to face the fact that you're at greater risk of a heart attack or stroke. Plavix helps protect people with ACS against heart attack or stroke. People like you. It's one of the most researched prescription medicines. Adding Plavix to your other heart medicines goes beyond what they do alone by helping to keep blood platelets from sticking and forming dangerous clots. Plavix, protection against heart attack or stroke in people with ACS.
Plavix is not for everyone. Certain genetic factors in some medicines, such as Prilosec, reduce the effect of Plavix, leaving you at greater risk for heart attack and stroke. Your doctor may use genetic tests to determine treatment. Don't stop taking Plavix without talking to your doctor, as your risk of heart attack or stroke may increase. People with stomach ulcers or conditions that cause bleeding should not use Plavix. Taking Plavix alone or with some other medicines, including aspirin, may increase bleeding risk, which can potentially be life-threatening. So tell your doctor when planning surgery. Tell your doctor all medicines you take, including aspirin, especially if you've had a stroke. If fever, unexplained weakness, or confusion develops, tell your doctor promptly. These may be signs of TTP, a rare but potentially life-threatening condition reported sometimes less than 2 weeks after starting Plavix.
Welcome back to University Field. In the third inning, Taylor Thom with a 2-run home run gives Texas a 3-1 lead. But Missouri immediately with the answer. Nicole Hudson with a shot. 2-run home run to deep center, ties it up at 3s. Bottom of the fourth now. Jenna Marston with a runner on third. Patient hitting, sneaks an RBI single into left. And then Hudson comes up with Marston on first and rips one into left center. Marston scores from first. 5-3, Tigers lead. And they have held it to this point. Bottom of the 6th inning now. This Tigers lineup that looked so baffled yesterday by Blair Luna, Jess. Very patient today. Seem like they're actually going after the pitches they want to. Everything the players told us last night they had hoped to do.
Well, one of the adjustments I've seen them make is I think 8 of their 9 starters from Missouri have moved to the back of the box. They are trying to make Blair Luna throw a strike, whereas they were chasing her balls yesterday. Today, the 2 walks that they've had to lead off those 2 run production innings are what led to them getting the runs.
First pitch is a strike to Megan Christopher, leading off the bottom of the 6th. The 8th spot in the lineup for Missouri.
And if you even notice, when Megan Christopher gets into the box, her right foot is on the line. I mean, on the line, almost out of the box, back of the box. And I'm seeing every single Missouri hitter, except for their short gamers, in the back of the box. Why are they doing that? Because that way they can see Blair's move it longer. When we talk about her drop ball, the pitch they shouldn't be swinging at, now they can see it and lay off of it.
Christopher pops out to first for the first out of the inning. Fans, the NBA playoffs continue on ABC this afternoon. Win or go home for the defending champion Los Angeles Lakers, on the verge of being swept. And ABC, home of the NBA Finals. Coverage begins. Buick Regal Countdown at 3 o'clock Eastern. Remember, no NBA postseason team has come back down 0-3 in a series. Teams 0-98 all-time when down 0-3 in postseason history. We will see if Kobe can keep it alive for the purple and gold. Pinch hitter now for Abby Vach is Catherine Poet, senior out of Tahunga, California.
And Kara, we've talked a lot about, what has been the difference between these two teams yesterday, today. Both really good pitchers. Why have hitters been able to make adjustments? And it's simply the fact that they come in with a plan, and Missouri is showing that plan by where they're at in the box.
You think that's something that Coach Earlywine picked up in film?
I'm not sure where he picked it up, but just knowing that Luna has the movement that she has. I talked to him about it yesterday. And he had said, basically, with Luna, they don't usually move a lot in the box, but what they need to do is lay off the pitches that aren't strikes. And that's how you do that. You move in the back of the box and you don't swing at it.
2-1 the count now to Poet. Up the middle, a slow roller. Fielded by Thom for the second out of the inning. Back to the top of the lineup now for the Missouri Tigers. Rhea Taylor, in her first at-bat single, came around to score on an RBI single from the red-hot Nicole Hudson. 1 for 3 in the game. Taylor 2 hits away from tallying 300 in her career. She would be just the second Big 12 player to reach that feat. Drops the bunt perfectly, and she is definitely fast enough to leg that out.
Rhea Taylor so fast. As soon as this ball is down, she's probably at 2.6, 2.7 seconds in 60 feet. And you think about that defensively. You have 2.6 seconds to be able to throw a runner like her out. Not going to happen.
And so similarly, sometimes you don't even see the throw being made because you don't want to overthrow it and allow her to take second base. Basically, in the first inning, that's what happened. They did make the throw. An error moved her to second. Luna up to 100 pitches in this game. First pitch is a strike to Jenna Marston. Taylor showing steal, and understandably, the all-time Big 12 steals leader. Third in the Big 12 in stolen bases this season with 31. There she goes. No problem.
Amy Hooks behind the plate has such a good arm, and it doesn't show with Rhea Taylor. She steals this back. She is coming up from her slide.
By the time the ball
gets there.
Wow. Taylor says, base running, all about mentality. So is hitting. Marston brings home another run to support Chelsea Thomas. How about the day for Jenna Marston? We've talked so much about Nicole Hudson, but Marston, sack bunt, walked and she scored, and now 2 straight RBI singles.
And Marston, she's so successful because of how long she waits on this pitch. She keeps her hands inside the ball, and she drives it right up the middle. Such a beautiful swing. And this is why she's so successful as a baseball hitter as well.
0-1 the count now to Nicole Hudson.
But the key, Kara, is the pitch that Blair Luna threw to Marston, a pitch that we did not see early on, something that's hanging over the strike zone because these hitters are making her throw it there. She was getting away with her drop and her rise out of the zone because they were chasing it. Now that they're not swinging at it, she has to come with something more meaty.
Hudson pops that one into right. A rare miscue in the Nicole Hudson versus Blair Luna battle this weekend. But regardless, Missouri has tacked on another insurance run. Chelsea Thomas with a 3-run edge to finish off Texas.
So Duncan hits this crazy shot, puts the Spurs up by
procedure. The goal this weekend in Columbia, Missouri. The goal this weekend in Columbia, Missouri, set a new single-season attendance, single-game record, and they have done that. Over 2,400 yesterday, over 1,550 today, and Chelsea Thomas appreciative of the continued and growing Tiger fan support.
You know, our fans have grown so much over the last couple of years, and you know, my freshman year there was no one in the outfield, and now looking out there when I turn around and see people stacking the outfield, I mean, it's great to have that sort of fan base, and you know, it's only going to get better as we get better, and I think the next couple of years we're going to see a new stadium here hopefully, and a lot more fans.
I like how Chelsea Thomas gave a plug for a new stadium here.
I know, I was just thinking
crafty, very crafty. But yeah, the fans here supportive, educated. I had a chance yesterday to sit among the fans to watch the first game in the series, Jess. They know their softball. You can tell from comments that are being made around you when they're educated and they know the game. Savvy group here in Columbia.
You know, when the golf course is shut down because people are coming to watch
there
softball.
Are now like 4 people out on that green watching this game. First pitch, strike to Courtney Craig. Chelsea Thomas, 3 outs away from a key victory for this Missouri program. Oh, 0-2 the count now to Craig. That one high, 1-2 to Craig now. Yesterday, Courtney Craig waited on a changeup, pulled it into left field for the second home run of the game. Texas won that game yesterday, but Missouri in command here. Craig, sharp shot to Abby Vaughn, eats her up a little bit. That ball was a stinger, Jess.
And Courtney Craig hits this ball so hard at Abby Vaughn that she even tries to go to knee. Not too much that you can do with this ball. I mean, she tries to keep it in front of her, almost like a catcher, except without the catcher's gear. Abby Vaughn probably thinking, probably wanted to get out of the way of that one instead of staying in front of it.
Can't let it dribble into the outfield, though. All havoc could ensue. Vaughn, the best defensive infielder on the team, per Coach Earlywine. 1-0 the count. And that was the 100th pitch thrown in this game by Thomas. She threw 118 in yesterday's 2-0 loss to Texas. One and two, Schmidt now in a hole. Strikeout of the game for Chelsea Thomas. You like the energy and the excitement in this game? Then you're going to love what we have ahead for you. The NCAA Women's College Softball Championship Selection Show, May 15th on ESPNU. 2 regionals in full. All 8 May.8 Super Regionals in full, and then every pitch of the Women's College World Series.
Well, and just thinking of the fact that Texas beat Missouri yesterday 2-0. Missouri comes back. They're winning 6-3 in this game. This is just a nice little tease of what the postseason is going to bring. There's so many good teams out there, Big 12, SEC, Pac-10. It gets me excited to think, I can't even predict who the 8 teams are going to be because of how it changes day to day of who steps up and who gets the wins.
And this is a great taste of the way that Big 12 softball has gone this season as well. Pitchers duels aplenty, top to bottom in this league. 1-2 the count now to Bruins. Along with Thomas and Luna, Kehlani Ricketts of Oklahoma leads the nation in strikeouts. Whitney Canyon of Baylor, Melissa Dumazic of Texas A&M. Great arms in this conference. A little love for Ashley Hageman of Nebraska. She's had a great year. It's going to be interesting to see how many Big 12 teams make their way to Oklahoma City. 8 strikeout of the game for Thomas.
Well, she got Tori Schmidt on the at-bat before on her drop ball, comes right back against Kim Bruins, and this drop ball tails inside on her hands and just drops off the table.
Missouri 1 out away from splitting the weekend series. Very quickly, the out is made. The number 8 Missouri Tigers improved to 12-3 in Big 12 play. Stave off Texas defending the regular season title for another day. Tigers controlling their own destiny down the stretch. 3 games left, and if they win them all, Jess, they will at least share the Big 12 championship. What did you see from Missouri today?
I just saw a team that adjusted well. They came back. They didn't let the first inning run that was scored. They came back every time Texas scored, and this is a team that is going to go far in the postseason.
Led by the arm of Chelsea Thomas, who improves to 25-5, 23 complete games on the air. 6-3 the final from Missouri. Coming up next on ESPN, Gruden Quarterback Camp, Blaine Gabbert. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Jessica Mendoza and our fantastic ESPN crew, I'm Kara Capuano. Tigers and the Longhorns split the weekend series in Columbia. So long from Missouri, and happy Mother's Day.
Missouri, welcome to the FFCA. Thanks for coming.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of the FFCA?